Welcome back to the Savage Nation. We're talking about this and that, a number of different topics on the Savage Nation. You can join the show by calling 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282 from anywhere in the United States. We have a president who refuses to sit down with the opposition party, but instead sits down with a street radical, a rent-a-mob street radical, one of the most despicable men in the United States of America, who was given a job on MSNBC not because he has any education whatsoever, but to keep him from picketing General Electric, who pays no income taxes, so far as I know. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the last I checked, General Electric got away with paying zero U.S. income tax, federal tax, on $5.1 billion in income, and they hire people to sit there and scream the middle class should pay more taxes so that GE and others like GE can get away with paying no taxes. How did they get away with it? Answer, because they got the government media complex, which I talked about in 1998. I gave the most brilliant speech on the subject at the, what was it called? The Commonwealth Club in San Francisco, called Beware the Government Media Complex. No one's ever topped that speech. And I pointed out how the government and the media have become one in America. It started with Clinton, and now it's become literally a wholesale single operation, the government media complex. So I'll take your calls at on the Savage Nation. Pete in New York on WABC. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Dr. Savage, welcome back. I missed you like a front tooth.
I lost a front tooth. You can get an implant now.
This man was a buffoon back then, and he's a buffoon now. And the only one who kept him in check was Mayor Giuliani. He wouldn't even acknowledge him. And another thing, this guy's about as much as a reverend as I am. I'd like to know.
I've been asking for years, where did he get his divinity degree from? Can anyone tell me where Reverend Sharpton, who was invited to the White House by, I keep saying that if Jesse Jackson had been elected president, you wouldn't have any different policies than you have now under Barack Obama. They just found somebody who was clever enough to sell basically the same street radicalism that Jackson's been pushing for 20 years.
Well, listen, I'm glad you're back, Dr. Savage. I really missed you, but Al Sharpton was a buffoon back then. He's a buffoon now. And every once in a while, I turn his show on just to look at him and listen to him. He could hardly read, and you could tell he's
That's right. He reads a script written to him by people who are literate. But, Pete, I want to ask you something. How do you feel about this man being invited into the White House to discuss tax policy? How do you feel about that? To me, it would be the equivalent of a conservative who wins and invites the Ku Klux Klan in to discuss social policy. All right, Pete, thanks for listening on the Savage Nation. 855-400-7282, that opens up a line. 855-400-SAVAGE.